Having a good accent in French isn't even hard.
Moi, j'apprends le français depuis 5 mois et je parle avec un accent qui n'est pas trop mal. Du coup, let me teach you exactly how I did it. Firstly, I'm going to tell you the things we need to stay away from, okay? Because these are going to hinder your pronunciation. So we don't want to be reading at the start of learning a language, okay? And this includes things like textbooks, okay? We're not doing that because you're going to start making up pronunciation in your head because when you're reading, there's no audio, you don't know how it's pronounced. You're going to make stuff up and that's going to stick, okay? Now that we've got that out of the way, every single time you learn a new word, okay, I want to make sure that you've heard the audio or you've replayed the audio where you've seen the word, okay, so that you know how it's pronounced. After you've done this, I want you to do something called shadowing. So what you're going to do is you're just going to try and repeat it maybe a couple times as accurately as you can, as similar as you can to the native speaker who said it, okay? This is super, super important because as you build up repetitions doing this, you will develop an accent that is basically the same as a native. And this can take like less than a week for you to see insane progress in your pronunciation and accent. This is easily the main thing that allowed me to develop such an accurate accent in French. And as well as this, I paired this with immersion, okay? So I'm listening to French all the time, which means that I'm able to decipher and pick out every single different sound that they make in French, okay? And this is also just as important because if you're unable to pick out the sounds that people are making in French, you won't be able to reproduce them yourselves because to you, some sounds might sound the same, but in reality, for a French native speaker, they're going to be different. So make sure you're listening to enough French and you're able to pick out every single different sound. For example, the nasal sounds are super similar. You got un, and on, okay? 3 sounds. If you can't pick out each different one of those, okay, then you need to be able to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to reproduce it. And finally, just practice speaking to yourself with the most accurate pronunciation as possible, okay? Just obsess over pronunciation every time you're regurgitating these words, whether you're doing the shadowing, whether you are just talking to yourself, okay? Just always try and make sure your pronunciation is as good as possible. Good luck.